We're back again, and we're talking about Vietnam and economics and social initiatives. The benchmark that I'm going to talk about now, this one comes up a lot, and what they try to explain is how is the New Deal similar to the Great Society? Or how is it a little bit different? And there's a lot of things that are similar about it, but at the same time, there's a lot of difference. And I think on a grand scale, uh, they were quite different in my opinion. But we'll take a look at it right now. So it's 912.A.7.13 Analyze the attempts to extend the New Deal legislation through the Great Society and the successes and failures of these programs to promote social and economic stability. Let's get straight into it. All right, so we have LBJ over here. And if you remember, LBJ is the president that comes after Kennedy was assassinated. Then over here we have FDR. Now, they had two different types of social programs. One was called the New Deal, set by FDR, and then the other one that came second was the Great Society by LBJ. Let's take a look at some of those things that really characterize the Great Society. So the first thing is, it was trying to assist marginalized citizens. Well, in reality, that's sort of what the whole mission of the New Deal was. So that it was trying to help marginalized people here also. Here's the one distinguishing factor. It had a great emphasis on the minorities and the poor. So the minorities and the poor were really emphasized. Not here necessarily. Not here. Then we have working programs to get Americans working again. Do we have that over here? Well, not necessarily. We have more aid over here to people who are trying to get back on their feet. So we have welfare, where basically, if you think about welfare, welfare is when the government gives you money in hopes that you'll find a job. Here, they gave actual work. You had to work for your money. They didn't just give you something. So that's how they're different. Here, you actually had to work. This is work. You can't just get a free handout. Here, you had to work. Here, they were hoping that the money was going to stimulate you to get back on your feet and then go find a job. Another important thing that's sort of similar is the Medicare and Medicaid. These two things, with trying to make medical care affordable to people who are in the retirement age, coexist with the Social Security program set forth by FDR. So this is kind of an extension. We can almost look at this as an extension. Let me get another pen. As an extension of Social Security. And there's a couple mixed up things in here where the Work Progress Administration, new public works, projects, roads, dams, buildings. This helped to build a lot of infrastructure in the United States. This was major infrastructure in creating what we see today. A lot of the things that were created through the Works Progress Administration, the Civilian Conservation Corps, and the Tennessee Valley Authority, a lot of these things actually still stand today. These were all public works projects. So these are very similar. So this is a public work project. Major roads, parks, national parks, trails, all created here. Electrical grids. Over here, here's another thing to kind of get people back on their feet. Head Start, free preschool for poor mothers. So if the mother was out looking for a job, it would be pretty hard to take her son or daughter. This is kind of giving poor families the ability to look for jobs while someone takes care of their kids. In addition, this was free housing. HUD is still around today, and this is the Housing and Urban Development. Free housing. So what's the difference between these two? Well, they're both trying to help people get back on their feet, but this one primarily is by giving work. This one is primarily by supplement. So supply money temporarily to get them on their feet is Great Society. Now, what's the one main difference between these two also is that this one really put a focus on minorities and the poor. And then when you combine that with the Immigration Act of '65, you can really, really, really see how the Great Society transformed things in America and how it has a different focus than the New Deal. The New Deal, we were coming out of the Depression and we needed to get back on our feet and start working. These were government created jobs that gave people real skills to go out there and make a difference. Now, sometimes they ask if it's a failure or success. It's hard to say. Some people think Great Society was a mistake. I think that's an opinion. I don't really like to get into that debate. Some people think the New Deal was better than the Great Society. Who knows? Only time will tell. All right, I hope you liked the video, like it, and I will see you soon.